Hi, Ukulele Bart Warburton here with another ULP, Ukulele Learning Package. And this one is for Beethoven's Für Elise. In the package you get a bunch of stuff. 3 pages of ukulele tablature and ukulele notation, which you can use for other instruments. Also, I put some bass notation in there. You also get this, the tabs for ukulele by themselves. That fits on 1 page. You also get 2 audio files. One is an audio file of me playing ukulele, bass, there's some percussion to help you keep your timing, and there's a little bit of violin and cello in the background to sort of fill it in and help you with your timing. And then you get another audio recording, which is the same recording with the ukulele removed, so it's kind of like a karaoke style. You can play along. And of course you also get this instructional video that you're watching right now. You're used to hearing it on piano, so let me play a little bit of it first just to show you what it sounds like on ukulele. Beethoven wrote this in 3/8. My chart is in 3/4, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. And he does not start the song on the 1, so the beginning is a little funky because he doesn't go 1 and 2 and 3. It goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I'll do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and. I would practice just that before you even get into the main music. I'm using my ring finger and my pinky. Open ring, open ring, open pinky, middle, open, A minor. You're going to do some alternating stuff with your index finger of the right hand and your thumb. Or if you're left-handed, the opposite way. I'm going up with the pointer finger, I'm going down with my thumb. Index, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index, index, index with a strum. Remember, when you count it in, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's a good little jingle to sing in your head because it's tricky. You've got to get it in your mind before you can play it with your fingers. So what I would do is just hum this a couple of million times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. The piece of music is A minor to E7. 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1. There's another part that goes like this. C2, 3, G2, 3, A minor, 2, 3, E7, 2, 3. I'm going to play the part that leads up to it so you can see how it begins. Okay, now we'll do that slowly. Let's lead in. Here it comes. When I play the C, I'm using my pinky to play the C like this because it leaves my other fingers free to do the other things I need to do. When I leave my pinky staying there to play the following notes, I get the resonance of that note. That note rings as I play the other notes, which imitates the piano, which does that. If you hit a note here and it rings and you add other notes later, that first note is still ringing, so that's how we're reproducing that. When I lead into it, that little couple of notes, I'm playing that with my pinky as well. And then go right into the C chord. And then a couple of notes afterwards. G string 4th fret with my pinky, and then I take the pinky off and play the G string open. And then I do another little tricky thing with my ring finger. Watch this. To play those notes, I leave the G in place, the G chord, but I raise my ring finger off so that that E string is played open. And if I do it that way, I'm still getting the resonance of all these other notes. So I'm getting this fullness instead of, which sounds a little silly. So we've done the first chord, which is a C. We've done the G. Now the next chord is an A minor for that section. And when I play those notes that go into the E7, I'm using my ring finger. So I have the middle finger on the A minor as usual, and I leave it there while I'm playing the next notes on the C string with my ring finger. So, and then I hit the E7 chord. But let's just play that whole bit right now, all in a row, so you can see how it sounds. And the next part, the last part I'm going to show you is the trickiest part because it's got some weird counting in there. It's easy to play, difficult to count. I'll play a little bit before that to lead into it so you can see it in context. The best way to play this section is to count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1. So it's 4 measures, 4 counts of 1 and 2 and 3 and. The first measure includes the final E7 of the previous section, so that counts as the 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Let's just do that. E7, 1, and then the E string open, which is already open because you've got the E7 chord, which has an open E string. 1 and 2 and. Now we need a 3 and. The 3 and goes all the way up to the 7th fret of the high string, the A string on the 7th fret, and then again that same E string open. So it's 7th fret A string followed by E string open. That full measure is like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So I would play that a bunch of times until you get familiar with it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So I'm using the traditional ring finger on the E7 chord, the way it's usually played, and then I slide that finger up to the 7th fret without taking it off the neck. That's the first measure. Remember, there are 4 measures in that section. That's the first one. Here's the second measure of that little section. 1 and 2 and 3 and. I started with the ring finger, so I'm just leaving it there. It's easier. And then I'm alternating with my middle finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So let's play the first measure and the second measure consecutively. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. 2 measures to go. We're almost there. The next one is really easy. It's just the same as this, but in a higher octave. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So now we'll do the first measure, second and third measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. The fourth measure of that section goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Ring, middle, ring, pointer, frets number 7, 6, 7, 2. And then let the 2 ring while you move your pinky back to the 5th fret and then your middle finger to the 3rd fret. So that's a good thing to practice too, just by itself. And all of these with an up pluck with the index finger of my plucking hand. Let's try all 4 measures of that section, starting with the E7, which is the 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1, which is an A minor. I've loaded the music onto my phone, and we're going to play the entire thing right now. It's 1 minute and 46 seconds. The count-in is 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... You ready? It's going to be awesome. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Good job. And there it is, Beethoven's Für Elise. It's a lot easier when you print out the tabs and have them in front of you. I know there's a lot in there and it's hard to follow just from watching the video. Print the tabs out, don't look at it on your phone. Put it on paper, make it big, you'll find it a lot easier. If you want more stuff, go to bartt.net, B-A-R-T-T.net. See you next time.